I'm Nicole, and this is my channel, The Sweary Sewist. Welcome or welcome back, depending on whether you've visited before. Welcome to another vlog. Over the next few days, I've got a few little sewing projects to do, which I'll share with you. First one I'm probably going to do today is I went to Spotlight last week. And these you will not be able to see at all on the camera, but this is ripstop nylon. It's sort of water resistant, not waterproof, and black flannelette. And what I'm going to do with that, we don't have garaging here where we live, and we get wicked frosts in the winter. I'll put in a picture of the roof of my car. I think it was last winter. Wicked frost. So I custom made a cover for my windscreen, and I stuffed it up a bit. So much for custom made. It just doesn't quite fit. It's maybe 2 or 3 inches too narrow only at the bottom. And I also I made the mistake of putting the fold-in flaps down from the top, which means as soon as the wind blows, it folds over and I get that band at the top that still freezes. So I'm going to make a new one. I'm going to take this one out to the car and make a new template. This one, as you can see, had an orange back. It was just using stuff I had. See if I can show you that it's shaped. So it cuts in at the bottom corners there. So new template, and then I'm going to whiz up a new one for the front window and then see if I can MacGyver up some kind of a system to use this one on the back window, because I think that fold over issue at the top is probably not so bad because it's got the little spoiler above the back window. It's a hatch, my car. So I also made, and it's quite funny because they look like little elephant ears, but it's got little slide-on covers for the mirrors so that when I get in the car on a frosty morning, the mirrors aren't frozen. So maybe it's a bit over the top, but I do love my car, so I like to protect her from the frost. But also, you could sit here till lunchtime trying to get the ice off the windscreen. It's that thick. So that's assuming we get a winter this year. We haven't had summer, so who knows what happens in winter. Anyway, it's certainly not winter today. We're heading for 31 degrees, I think it is. It's going to be quite hot over the next few days. It's still not hot for here. High 30s is typical for this area in summer, so has been a mild one. So that is that. I'm also probably, I don't know if I'll do this today or not, but I'm going to do some more embroidered notebook covers for markets. I did some that had sarcastic messages on them, and they've all sold out. I think I'll just do some plain ones because I've got some pretty fabrics and I think I just want to do them pretty this time. And I'll get some different fabrics for the sarcastic ones. So I've got these two. I've had this little birdie one. Oh, while I shut my phone up. I've had the little pink birdies for a few years, and I think that'd be super cute on a notebook. So we'll do that as one. I picked up these owls at Spotlight at, I want to say Tamworth last weekend before, whenever I was away, and stripes. Whichever Spotlight store I was in, it was possibly the most disorganized Spotlight I've ever been in. I don't remember. I think it was Tamworth. It was, I didn't even spend much. I think all I bought was 3 fat quarters because I couldn't even find some of the fabrics that I usually buy. I buy a lot of drill for my poo packs, drill and duck, and they were not sorted. There was no signage, there was no labeling anywhere. And then when I found these, they were just thrown in. There was no color sorting or anything. So not what I'm used to. My local store over the last couple of years has become so tidy, so organized, so well stocked that maybe I'm just spoiled. But anyway, I did pick up a few things. So that's the second one. And then I have this kind of batik-y, what's left of a fat quarter. I'll use probably this side, and just with a plain sort of aqua colour for contrast with that. So that's those. I have got a couple of parcels to open, so I'll do those shortly. I'm waiting on an order. I buy my haberdashery wholesale from Birch Creative because I have an ABN, so I'm waiting on an order from them. It's not, I threw in some fabrics actually at the end to, it's a minimum $100 order, so I had to bring it over $100, and I thought, oh well, I'll just chuck in some fabrics. So that could turn up anytime. I'm surprised it's not here yet. According to their website, it is completed, but there's no date that it was completed or shipped, so that's just, I'll wait and see. What else? This weekend is the Canberra show. I've mentioned a couple of times that I've got a stockist there carrying my very original emergency poo packs. I'll probably go. I think I'm going to go. It's not cheap. It's, I think, $27 for an adult. Still cheaper than some shows, but they've taken away a lot of the good entertainment over the last couple of years. I've always loved going for the precision driving. Years ago it was the Holden precision driving, then it was Isuzu Utes, I think, but it's just it's not there at all anymore. I don't think there's even motocross, so that's kind of, you know, where it's not a small country town. You've got to have something a bit more than just livestock and horses and vegetables, to keep the you know, a city crowd engaged. So I'll probably go, I'll do a quick walk through. I'll try to film in the craft section so you can see what people have entered. I'm interested to see too what I would have been up against if I'd entered. As I mentioned, I think in the last video, I think next year I'll go back to entering. It's a buzz to spend all that time on your projects and then go in and see how they went. So I sort of missed that this year. Sometime over the next couple of vlogs, I'll also show you some of the things that I've entered over the last couple of years. I did a steampunk outfit for one, which I really did. I love steampunk. I love the whole idea of steampunk, but I also love working with volumes and volumes of fabric. There's just something about it. I love drowning in fabric. So I did, I think it had 20 meters of black taffeta in it, maybe 10. And I made it in here when it was in the high 30s. So it was stinking hot. But anyway, it was fun and I liked the result. I also did I think 2 years ago, maybe last year, I did my take on a Mad Hatter inspired costume for a female. And I'll show you that sometime down the track as well. Stay with me. Let's open some parcels. So these are the two parcels I've got to open. This one it's a bit boring. If with my poo packs, I sell them with a roll of toilet paper and a travel size bottle of hand sanitizer, and it's gotten too difficult to buy the hand sanitizer in little bottles for a reasonable price. So excuse the noise, this is such a dodgy box. So I now buy the sanitizer wholesale, and it's much cheaper. Unfortunately, it just means I buy suspicious quantities of hand sanitizer. Nobody's ever asked why. But yep, that's basically how they arrive, in a crappy box. And I just store it under here. I try not to keep too much of it in one spot because, for those of you who don't know, it is flammable. It is a dangerous good. It should actually be shipped with a dangerous good label on it, but they've removed it. So anyway, and this one's a bit more exciting. So in my Etsy store, one of the things I sell, and sort of I sell a few of these locally too, is personalised towel sets. And I buy the towels through eBay. I love these towels. They're such a nice quality and they're not that expensive. So I've just wanted to add a couple more colours. I'm pretty excited for this because these are my colours. And some of them, oh, thought I saw some in my backyard. There's a couple of things in here that are just for me to keep in the sewing room. So this will come as no surprise when you know the branding of my channel. This will come as absolutely no surprise to see what colour these are. It's a challenge to get into without slicing through them. I did have another really pretty colour in my cart and it sold out before I checked out, so there's a lesson in that. Snooze, you lose. So I'm just watching that colour to see if it comes back into stock because it was so pretty. Anyway, that's no surprise. Purple. Thought there was, yep, there is a pink one in here too. So in here there should be a couple of hand towels which are for the sewing room. So 2 hand towels. Their hand towels are huge. Love them. So those will be for out here. I have really, I want to say sensitive skin. I'm sensitive to dry skin. So I moisturize my hands a lot. And then of course I can't touch any fabric. So I use hand towels out here to just wipe the excess moisturizer off my hands. That's the pink one. So I generally carry 2 of each colour because, you know, people buy them in pairs. I've got mostly baby or little kid colours because that's what most people buy them for. But I do also do bigger towels for bridal or engagement gifts with monogramming on them. So that's the pink one. I think there are 8 face washes, maybe 6. 8. So we do a towel and a face washer, and then we've got 2 of the light purple and 2 of the other purple. It's not exactly the purple I was expecting, but it'll certainly do the job. So I'll update my Etsy listings later to include those 2 new colours and just update the stock for the pink, and then try to get the other colour, and I'll show you that when I get it. A bit disappointed about that. That's the parcels. So I've also just been out to my car, measured up my template again. I figured out where I went wrong with the first one that I made because I didn't take into account the curve of the windscreen, so it's obviously a bit wider. So I need to add 6 inches to the side, or both sides, and 6 inches to the bottom because obviously it curves both ways. So I'm going to recut that now.
good news, the cover fits the windscreen perfectly, and I think I can make the back one work by just running a bit of elastic between the two flaps. It might be a bit of an effort to get it on. I don't know. Anyway, I'll give it a whirl, and if it doesn't work, I'll just bin it. I've been to the post office. I've got my parcels. I'm shocked at the size of the box that this one is in. I will open it up shortly. I'm just going to have some lunch. As I was just making my toasted sandwich in what we used to call the Breville growing up, I was reminded of the last time I used the Breville, and I wanted to give you a little tip. So when I last used it, I heated it up, I walked away, I came back, I opened it up, and the best way I can describe what I found is ant crematorium. So if you live in a home that's prone to the odd ant invasion and you have a sandwich maker, it doesn't matter how clean it is when you put it away, those little buggers will find the slightest crumb, and the smell of them toasting, it's mildly unpleasant. So, and certainly not something you want in your sandwich. So my tip, free tip for today, let's call it a hack. When you use your sandwich toaster, open it up before you plug it in and just check that it's not occupied. This parcel has absolutely nothing to do with sewing. It is, there's a cat in my backyard, it is just new leggings, which were on sale. So I thought, why not? So that's pretty boring for you, so I'll look at that later. Okay, the toy that's in here. Now, I bought this to do a specific market item. I saw something similar at a market in Queensland. I figure we're not selling in the same market, so I can probably take inspiration from what this person was doing without actually interfering with her business, because I won't be selling them online. But how ridiculous is this packaging? This is nuts. This is the item. As I say, I don't even think this is really fragile. And I'm going to have to pop all these. At least they used paper for this one. Let's see. This is the only way I could think of to achieve what I'm wanting to achieve. And even then, I'm not sure if it's going to work. So, a bit of experimenting coming up there. It's maybe a little finer. God, it looks like my smocking pleater. Which makes me think maybe I should have just used my old smocking pleater without the needles. But I was just hoping that the ridges would be slightly bigger. So let's work out how to get all the packaging out. So you hold that together and then you roll the material through it. So definitely finer than I was hoping for, but we'll see what it does. And if it works out, I'll show you. If it doesn't work out, I'll chalk it up to experience and maybe keep the packaging and sell this to someone who can use it. We'll see.
I am super annoyed because I just did a whole waffle and I've gone back to, I exited out of the program after I saved it and it's gone. So what I said was I'm going to leave it there for today. I will come back in a few days when I've done the Canberra show and when I've done the market on Sunday, tomorrow. The market is in a little village called Dalton at the pub there. I think it's called the Royal Hotel Dalton. It's a cute little pub. I went to visit that market last year before I was doing them myself, and it's actually what inspired me to do them. So I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know how successful it would be. It will be. It's not huge. I think there are 25 stalls. I don't know how many people go, and it will ultimately depend, I guess, on how good the day is. But who doesn't want to go to the pub for a day? So I can't even remember what else I waffled about, but maybe I've saved you from that by losing the footage. Maybe I've saved you from things you didn't need to hear. I think the spider update was in that clip. The Hagrid is still here. If the spider updates are either boring the shit out of you or scaring the shit out of you, leave me a comment below. This is a quick one. Last night we discovered, as you know, we figured out a while ago that Hagrid is actually a female and there's a baby in the house, and last night I discovered a male huntsman in the room next to the bathroom. So it's only a young one, but he's going to find the female and then we're going to have a problem. So if you've never seen a mother huntsman with her baby huntsmans, you've never seen one of the most terrifying things that exists on the planet Earth. The spider looks spiky, and when you provoke her or disturb her, the babies scatter, and it literally looks like there are thousands of them. They're tiny, but they go in every direction and the mother will come at you. That's the only time they're ever aggressive, is when you mess with their babies. So I can deal with one baby, like a centimetre high in the house somewhere, but I cannot deal with an angry mother or hundreds of babies. So this evening, he's up on the ceiling. It's a bit tricky for me, but my partner's significantly taller than me, which he loves to throw in my face. He'll be able to retrieve it without too much trouble, and we'll evict him from the house. They don't really like being sent outside. They seem to prefer it indoors, but someone's got to go, and it's not going to be me. So, and Hagrid hasn't caused us too much grief over the last 3 or 4 weeks that she's been occupying. So the male gets it. If that turns out to be entertainment, I'll video the eviction for you. I'll come back to you in a couple of days.
I said I had some more parcels coming and they're here, so I'm going to show you them. I have unboxed one of them because I freaked out a little bit at the size of it. I'll show you that in a second. But I forgot to show this beautiful fabric. I love this. This is stunning. The colours are amazing. I got this at that untidy spotlight that I mentioned earlier in the vlog, somewhere up north. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I think I only got a metre because I'll look for some other planes to go with it. I typically buy this colour scheme to make things for my sister for her birthday because she likes blue, and she's generally she's really appreciative when I make her bags and things. So I don't make things for many people, but she's someone that I do. So that's that. I completely forgot I even bought it. So I did also mention that I had a birch order coming. This is the birch order. Can I say it's smaller than I expected? There's not much in it. I think I already said it's kind of boring, tabby, and I threw in a little bit of fabric to make it a bit more interesting. Because, you know, you've got to buy yourself presents. If I can get into it. Okay, so told you. So that's all my happy bits and pieces. I'm actually going to leave those in the box. because I'm not quite up to those yet. But let's have a look at these fabrics that I bought. So this one is called Fairy Tale Fabric. They're right, they're actually quite pretty. Flowers, unicorns, toadstools, more flowers, and this one's got dinosaurs, carriages, fairies, toadstools, the works. So not sure yet what I'm going to do with these, but this one's Hearts and Flowers fabric. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got 5 as well. There's a little floral there. There's well, it's got kind of little balloons that say mine, kiss, love, hug. You can't see these very well on the website. You can sort of, that's the view you get, so it's a bit hit and miss. You just take your chances. But actually quite happy with those. I'm sure I'll find something to make with them. So the other thing, I'm going to take you off the tripod to show you this. This is the other thing that I got delivered. And I got a bit of a shock when I saw how big the box is. I have not thought this through at all. I have no idea where I'm going to store this, but this is what it is. It's mailing boxes. Excuse my pile of work-related garbage on the floor. Mailing boxes for shipping towels. I do personalised towel sets. I'm going to put this one together so you can see how they go. They're usually pretty simple to put together. I'm a bit less than impressed because this one's got a greasy spot right here. Hopefully they're not all like that, or I'll be asking for my money back. But for one, it's probably not too big of an issue. I guess things get dirty in the post anyway, so... Now, I like to press all the folds in before I assemble it. So this one goes, well, not the light, up like this. Side goes over, tucks in at the bottom. Sorry, it's very noisy. And it's that horrible, squeaky, blackboardy noise. Yikes. So basically that will fit 2 towels. 1 towel will fit just in a poly mailer, but whenever I send 2 towels, I always struggle with something to post them in. So I've that's what these are for. I've bought 25 of them. I actually ordered purple, and then I waited 6 weeks for purple to come into stock, only to then be told that because of Chinese New Year, they wouldn't come into stock. So that confuses me a bit, because Chinese New Year comes to an end. So anyway, c'est la vie. I thought this colour actually works okay with my purple branding. So all good. So that's that. That's all my parcels for this week, so that's a bit sad.
So that's probably enough waffle for 1 week. I didn't get to the Canberra show. To say that my plans went to crap would be an understatement. We had a bad electrical storm come through work, and one of our buildings got struck by lightning. So I saw it. I was almost in it, but I stopped to talk to a friend of mine. I jumped into her car to have a chat. And if I hadn't done that, I would have been walking right past where the lightning struck. So anyway, I did see it hit, and I thought, oh shit, that was bad. And then started to discover all the things that had been destroyed by that. So that meant that I got stuck at work for quite a bit longer than I had planned to, so I didn't get to the show. So nothing to show you there. No idea how my products have sold. Won't know until tomorrow, Monday, whenever I go to pick them up. So nothing to tell there. I will, I've just actually found a really pretty wasp out in the garden. I had to Google it. I've never seen it before. It's called a blue flower wasp. I didn't get a photo of it, but my partner did. Hopefully it's good enough to share. It was so pretty. It's about 2.5, 3 centimeters long, jet black with blue iridescent wings. So super pretty. It's always fun to find something you've never seen before and hope it's not out to kill you. Um, that'll do for today. I will drop in footage of the Dalton markets here next. I had a hell time playing with the gazebo again today and trying to make sure I could put it up on my own. Watched a YouTube tutorial which turned out to just not, it just doesn't work that way. It's too heavy, you can't lift it. And so I figured out my own method, and I'll go back and comment on their video for all the other people who have commented that it's too heavy and they can't lift it. It's you have to do the steps a little bit out of order to what they say, or you have to lift the entire weight of the top of it and the canopy probably a good 4 or 5 inches, and you just can't do it. So I had a lot of fights with it. Sometimes I do things just to prove that I can, and I got extremely frustrated with it and I walked away from it several times, but in the end I will always go back and win because I refuse to be defeated. I refuse to be told I can't, and I'd sooner break my own arms trying to do it than admit defeat. So I've done that. I've squished everything into the car. It's tight, but it fits, and I've actually got room for, I could take a passenger if I wanted to. Anyway, that's enough of me. I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope all is well in your world. And I look forward to catching up with you again soon. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Please like the video if you've enjoyed it. I'll chat to you soon. Cheers.